What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about why I'm getting the Burning Shores DLC for Horizon Forbidden West. I'm super excited about this, and this is my series where I talk about whether I'm getting something, not getting something, or I'm somewhere in between. And for this, it's pretty obvious I'm getting it. I've been talking very highly of it. Besides the not seeing stuff, although I do want to talk about that in this video, I'm pumped, and we're just a few weeks away, right? April 19th. Now remember, this is only on PS5. Honestly, that's a big reason why I am excited for it, and we'll talk about that in a second. So let's talk about that PS5 part first, and it is a big reason why I'm excited, because I do think this is going to be like a flex. I think we're going to be able to see just what the PS5 can do, and we haven't had too many examples of that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say this is the first PS5 exclusive thing out there, but you got Guerrilla Games, and I think they're an incredible developer. At the very least, you got to give them from the visual perspective, from pushing those kind of boundaries, and they have. I mean, Forbidden West looked absolutely incredible on the PS5. I think it looked pretty good on the PS4 as well, but on the PS5, it looks so great. We've seen what like Insomniac can do with Ratchet and Clank, so dropping the PS4 part from the equation. Now, I get if you want to be angry. I've talked about this before. I think you have a right when a game comes out on more than one console and then the DLC comes out on only one. I can see why you would be upset, and I don't think there's anything wrong with being upset. I've been a really big backer of dropping that last-gen support from a lot of games. I think, we're in 2023. I think most games, if not all of them, should only be for the PS5 and Series S and X at this point. I've been saying that for a while. It's been very unpopular up until maybe like half a year or a year ago. Then it suddenly became like the popular thing to say. I've been saying it for a long time, but I do think it's worth it. I think, when they've only been developing this on one system, just the PS5, not only is that better for them because they don't have to worry about all these different systems. Now, for them specifically, they only had to worry about two, but just going on PS5, and we've heard some of the reasons why. People can laugh or meme on all they want, that cloud technology, literally clouds in the sky technology, but it's real, and we've seen it in some of the trailers for this DLC. There is some new technology that really would not be possible on last gen. So I know I'm spending so much time talking about it, but this really is one of the primary reasons why I'm so excited about this game. Is let me see what Guerrilla can do with kind of no constraints, right? We've seen Insomniac with like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. We've seen like the Demon Souls remake. I mean, there's been some good PS5 exclusive things. I think this may be a whole new level, and I'm excited to see that. On top of it, and we've talked about this before, it's a pro-con of not seeing a lot, right? On the con side, we really don't know what to expect all that much, but honestly, from a pro side, there's a mystery element. Now, I should be clear. I've predicted we may see like heavy gameplay before the game comes out. When I'm recording this, and I'm recording this on April 3rd, we haven't gotten that, right? We've gotten maybe 3-4 minutes of footage of this game, whether it's trailers or they did that quick little video 50 or so seconds long showing the new machine that can both fly and go underwater. That's really all we've gotten, at least at the point I'm recording this. So if you watch it, maybe they do show gameplay, maybe I would be more excited. But it really is a pro con, because on the pro side, I'm really like mystified by this. We don't really know what to expect, and that kind of lets my mind wander, right? Because we talk about the technology and how good it may look and the boundaries that have kind of been lifted off of it, right, from having to worry about the PS4. But then when you don't have anything really to go based off of that, that can set false expectations, that's for sure, or bad expectations, right? But I'm trying to keep them pretty level. I'm ready to go back in. That's another huge thing that I definitely wanted to say, in this video. I'm a pretty big fan of this franchise. I like the lore. I think the lore gets a little too muddy sometimes. I think they've really gone a little overkill here and there. But overall, I do love this universe. I do love stepping back in. And it's been a year, and I think it's been enough time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling that craving to go back in to the franchise and into this world with Aloy and all. Sylens, that's a big one. With Lance Reddick, that's something that I wish we didn't even have to consider, or that wasn't even a factor, right? That it's no big deal. We know he's in it. We know he's going to be in the next one. Well, with Lance now gone, right? We do know, because he did take a picture of himself when he was in the motion capture room for this DLC. So Sylens, although it's not confirmed by Guerrilla, Sylens is going to be in this DLC. So I'm really excited to see what they do with Sylens. Not that Lance's passing will have anything to do with it, right? Because this has been filmed and captured and all that stuff. So this is going to have to be something with his character whatever they decide to do, that's going to be Horizon 3, right? It's not going to be figured out in this one. But I want to see what's new with him, what they do with him, Aloy. And another thing, I've said this before with like Frozen Wilds, these DLCs, now there's only been one, but this is two, they've pushed the story, right? So you could probably go into the next game. You could go into Forbidden West without playing the Frozen Wilds DLC. You probably could. But the DLC certainly helps. It's definitely not going to hurt you, and you could heavily argue that it pushes the narrative, and it really pushes the games to get to the sequel. So I kind of expect the same thing. I don't think you're going to be able to open up a new area, new machines, new story missions, new side missions. You're not going to be able to do that without expanding at all, like the main, lore or the story of the universe. You're going to do that. So I don't know if this is going to be like required reading or required playing for the third Horizon game, but I do think it's going to be pretty important. So I'm excited for that too, right? This is a step. This is saying, okay, a year after Forbidden West, what have you improved on? What are you focusing on? Because you would imagine a lot of these things are probably going to appear maybe even better in the third game, which is still years away, but this kind of gives us a little peek into the future. So I'm pumped. I'm hoping that we see more. I don't necessarily need it. Honestly, what they've shown so far, I have trust in them. I don't think it's going to be like a disaster or anything. What I like to see maybe like a 2-3 minute, maybe some sort of like gameplay trailer, or there will be a launch trailer, which maybe we'll see stuff. I would probably take that at this point. That's probably all I need. And that's probably at the end of the day what they will do. So just a few weeks away, $20, really not all that much for what I would imagine, I don't know this, but for what I would imagine to be maybe like at least 10 hours of content. I don't know if the story would be 10 hours, but if you can get 10, 15, even 20 hours from this DLC in content, side missions, main missions, different collectibles, facing new machines, all that stuff, if that can get you that 10 to 20 hour mark, I think $20 is kind of a steal for it. So let me know what you all think in the comments. I'll be covering this game a lot more as we get closer and closer, so make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.